Welcome back to the Yes and YouTube channel. I am so excited to be back with you guys again this week and every week, every Tuesday to come. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Marin. I am the owner and developer of Yes and I am an alignment coach. I use life coaching, evaluation, and yoga practices to help individuals align with their authentic self. At the moment, my website is probably the best place to go to find out more about Yes and about my coaching and other resources for you, and just to learn more in depth about things that I cover here. So for instance, the model is on my website. That is what I will be covering again today and what we started talking about last week. So let's dive in. So last week we started this YouTube mini-series of the Yes and model with triggers. Triggers are our cues to align. So they can be little, they can be very large, and they help us gain insight into when we are in alignment, when we are out of alignment, and different ideas about how to make that alignment happen. When triggers and roadblocks combine, that's often when we need a little extra support. So roadblocks are any beliefs, values, or mindsets that hinder our ability to express our authentic self or to align. So for example, an illness trigger may be I am exhausted from overworking. That could be a simple fix. That could be take a nap, take a break, and come back rejuvenated and realigned. Or in tandem with a roadblock, it could be I'm exhausted from overworking and roadblock, I have to work 40 hours a week. So when this roadblock comes into play, it hinders my ability to take a nap or to take a rest or whatever would need to come after that trigger to regain alignment. There are 4 main buckets of roadblocks, similar to how I found the 5 main buckets of triggers. I have experienced this myself as a coaching client. I've seen this in my coaching clients when I am the coach. And then also I did a short round of interviews and surveys to get an idea for what people's common experiences were when they went through the journey of authentic alignment and through a coaching process. So a fear roadblock is that feeling of uncertainty or doubt in our own self. It could just be an overall sense of mistrust. I don't trust what's calling me, and so I'm not going to listen to the trigger. And it can just be a fear of the unknown. I'm afraid of what will happen if I do this thing. I'm afraid of what will happen if I even sit down to listen. An obligation roadblock focuses on the real or perceived expectations. Some examples are I feel pressure to do this thing because so-and-so, a certain person, or society expects me to do it. Obligation could also be feeling guilty for wanting something different. Everything is fine, and so I'm obligated to stay this way. Really powerful and also hinders us from aligning with where we would actually thrive. Lack of resources is the real or perceived lack of resources to follow our intuitive wisdom. So it can be I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the capability, or there are no other options. There's a lack of options that I can choose from besides the one that I'm currently in. And the last categorization, justification, is a roadblock that gives us permission to stay where we are because we have a set of reasons why. Because this, and this, I'm good where I'm at. I followed all of the check boxes, I did all the things, and so life is good because this is what I was told would be a good life. These roadblocks, these voices of scarcity and fear, are often really strong when we don't listen to them, rather than giving them a voice, hearing what they have to say, and then choosing, based on that data, the trigger data, and all the other data points in your life that you have, then choosing what is actually best for you. So let me give you a few examples of a trigger and roadblock combo that I've gone through. One I have talked about briefly on my website and in other posts is my decision to switch from a PhD program to a master's program. I was in my first year and I was feeling a lot of different triggers that this was not the right path for me, and they were getting more and more overwhelming to the point where I realized, okay, there's a roadblock that I need to talk about here, that I need to look into. The roadblock was obligation. I felt very grateful to be in a PhD program. I felt like I was capable, and so I was obligated to complete this path. And I felt like a lot of people were looking to me to complete something that I had set out on. And so in the weeks to come, we're going to talk about the coaching process and the alignment journey. But I did end up going through that whole journey and eventually shifting into my best life, which is here now talking to you guys. So another trigger roadblock combo that may be a little more day-to-day, a little less drastic than switching an entire educational path. I experienced trigger of confusion. I was staring at a text message that I wanted to send. I wanted to share my truth. I wanted to ask a question and thought about it for many, many hours, was very just like became lost in this confusion of whether to send this message, right? Such a silly day-to-day thing to do. I realized that I was in a fear roadblock. I was scared of what would happen if I sent this and didn't get the response that I wanted or didn't get a response that would feel fantastic. After I looked at that and I had these data points in front of me, then I had the opportunity to say, okay, do I want to live with this fear roadblock and thus keep experiencing this trigger, or do I want to give the fear gremlin, the fear roadblock, some graham crackers, send it to the back of the bus, and live with my higher self, which is hope and honesty and those values that are so central for me. So I want to end this video with a bit about this first part of the coaching process under the practices category in the Yes and model. This first part is initiation and support. If you're watching this video and you are thinking, oh my God, yes, this roadblock is resonating with me, or this trigger, I'm stuck in it. I don't even know what roadblock that I'm stuck in, but I know that this trigger is here. I wanted to let you know that I'm here to support you. The roadblocks can feel really strong if left unheard and if left unexplored. And that's where initiation from your part, so simply being curious about these roadblocks and these triggers and having a relationship with them rather than letting them kind of be under the surface, that's a really big part. And then also initiation to have a coach or to have a support system. You have so many different places for support, whether it's a formal coaching relationship or coffee with a friend or a dog. I bring up dogs a lot. They have a lot to offer you guys. Or whether it's a walk in a park, or whether it's getting a whiteboard to stick on your wall to help plan out your week. I just did that for myself and it has been of great support. All of these are different forms of support that help you look at your triggers, work through your roadblocks, and move toward authentic alignment. By watching this video, hopefully you feel a little more supported. And then also, link below, I have an email address, I have a website, I have coaching sessions and coaching packages that you can purchase right now if you want, because I am here for you. That's what this is all about. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments about triggers and roadblocks, if you need any clarification. And I look forward to seeing you again next week as we continue to walk through the Yes and journey and talk about all the different practices and outcomes that come through the alignment process. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon.